So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the 2013 BMW X3. Now the X3 has been produced by BMW since 2003 and is currently in its third generation. The X3 was the second SUV offering from BMW after the X5 and sits slightly below it in terms of both size and price. Now, since then, BMW has also offered the X1 and X2 option, which are slightly smaller crossover alternatives to the X3. So the 2013 X3 is part of the second generation of the X3, which was produced from 2011 to 2017. For the 2013 model year, you had your choice between either the 28i model or the 35i. Now the 28i has a 4-cylinder turbo with 250 horsepower, which is good for a 0 to 60 time of 6.2 seconds. With that, you'll get 21 miles per gallon in the city and 28 miles per gallon on the highway. If you want a little bit more horsepower, you can jump up to the 35i, which will give you 300 horsepower, a 0 to 60 time of 5.5 seconds, and an EPA rating of 19 miles per gallon in the city and 28 miles per gallon on the highway. So the 2013 X3 had a base price of just under $40,000, but with options that could quickly add up to quite a bit more than $40,000. The great thing about the X3 is that even in base mode, it does come with a number of nice standard features, including a power lift gate in the rear. It has automatic headlights and windshield wipers, a leatherette interior, BMW's Idrive Interface system. I'll give you a little bit more input on that later, and standard Bluetooth. The second generation of the X3 offers a really nice improvement over the first generation in terms of styling. While the first generation had a nice appearance to it, the second generation really expands upon that and gives the vehicle a much sportier look in line with what you would expect from a BMW. BMWs really do appeal to people that are looking for sporty cars, and so it was important with the second generation of the X3 to improve upon the design language of the first generation and really enhance that sporty appearance. And the other thing about the second generation of the X3 is it also takes a lot more in terms of design language from the X5 and just puts it into a smaller package. There are a lot of cues, design cues throughout the exterior of the vehicle that borrow heavily from the X5 and pay tribute to that model, which is good. The X5 is a beautiful SUV, probably one of the most attractive SUVs on the market. And so to be able to take that and put it in a slightly smaller package at a more affordable price really results in an appealing option for somebody that's looking to get a small crossover that's sporty. So just as the exterior styling of the second generation X3 is a really nice improvement over that first generation model, likewise the interior is a nice progression over the first generation of the X3. And the great thing about the BMW lineup as a whole is that because there's so many more higher end expensive BMW models, these less expensive versions like the X3 really benefit from a lot of the design language that you see throughout the lineup, as that's carried over from some of those higher end models down to these less expensive models. A lot of the flair that you get in those vehicles carries over into the X3 and really results in a nice package for the owner. Now these are the stock leatherette seats that come on the base version of the X3. You can upgrade from there, but they're a pretty nice option as it is. And then this screen here is also standard on all X3 models, and it's controlled through the Idrive interface. With that, you can control Bluetooth and telephone, navigation system, radio, and then other media, whether that's your phone or an MP3 player that you connect to the vehicle. The X3 also comes with an Eco Pro mode, which optimizes efficiency in the vehicle, and then there's a Sport mode for a slightly more aggressive driving experience. We've got the controls on the steering wheel for cruise control, Bluetooth. You can see here, this is some of the voice activation, and then you can also control some of the audio controls on the vehicle. Now jumping into the back of the X3, it's a fairly spacious rear cabin, plenty of legroom and headroom. And we've got a couple vents here for controlling temperature settings in that back seat. And going around to the back, we've got the standard automatic lift tailgate. And as you can see, there's a fair amount of cargo space for the X3. Really kind of strikes a nice happy medium in terms of cargo space between, say, a 3 Series and the BMW X5. Plenty of cargo space for the four or five passengers. And then again, we can close that automatic tailgate. So the X3 comes standard with this central screen and the Idrive interface, which allows you to control a number of different features through the central computer. So you can see here, this would allow you to connect your phone and use the Bluetooth setting. So you've got the telephone button here. We've got navigation. So by pushing that button, that brings up the navigation. You can control the radio and other media. So whether that's a phone that's connecting to the system through Bluetooth, or if you want to connect an MP3 player through the system, all of that can be controlled through this central system. Now, one option available on the 2013 X3 is the dynamic handling package, which had a price tag of about $1,400. And with that package, it quickened the steering, resulted in more aggressive acceleration, and was able to adjust the electronic damper control, which basically adjusted the suspension and could fluctuate between either kind of a normal comfort mode and a dynamic, stiffer suspension for better handling. So this specific model is the 28i, which is the less expensive, less powerful version of the X3, and yet it still offers a really nice driving experience in terms of good acceleration, plenty of power. The steering's got a really nice firm feel to it. The suspension on the vehicle has a perfect balance between a nice plush ride and good handling characteristics. And just in general, driving the vehicle, it's very obvious that this is a vehicle that was designed and built to be fun to drive. And so BMW definitely accomplished that in the X3. BMW also did a really nice job on the all-wheel drive system in these X3s. It offers really good handling characteristics going around corners where the vehicle feels very planted, very connected to the road. My expectation is that it would also handle very well in snow and ice, just based on the way that it's driving on the wet roads today. As you'd expect, the X3 also offers a really nice premium feel inside of the cabin. It's a quiet ride. And it just feels like a really high quality, well-built vehicle driving down some of these bumpy roads. So that's a review of the 2013 BMW X3. If you've got any comments or questions, leave them in the section below. For more car videos, subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, thanks for watching.